I have always loved playing games, especially video games. My first introduction to them was when I was around 5 or 6 years old, watching my dad play Tomb Raider 1 on our family PC. Later, that PC was given to me and my sister, and that's how my gaming journey started. As I got a little older, I began exploring the internet and all the games it had to offer. Sure, there were classics like RuneScape, Club Penguin, Gaia Online, and Neopets. But the game that really caught my attention was Habbo Hotel. I loved that game so much. I even spent money on it. Or, well, my dad did, so I could become a Habbo Club user. Basically, the premium membership. I spent hours playing in minigames, chatting in rooms, and making friends. Whenever one of my friends came online, I immediately messaged them to say hello and asked how they were doing. I was really outgoing back then. Nowadays, I basically don't talk to random people in games unless I have to. My entire game chat history is just me typing GG after every Overwatch match or flashing with kindness at toxic players who talk to me. Not all of them deserve kind words, though I can be mean too. One of the key points in Habbo is your avatar. The better you look, the better you're liked. At first, I played a basic girl avatar because I am a woman and it felt natural. But then one day I saw a premium user who had a male avatar with clothes I really liked. So I stole them. Oh, can I help you? Oh, don't come any closer. You're mine now. So I switched my avatar to a man and straight up stole this dude's whole look. Everything he had, I had now. Even when I wasn't a premium user, I made it work. I just had to tweak the hairstyle and use dark grey instead of pure black, because free users couldn't have nice things. But still, that look had me in chokehold. It basically became my new identity in this game. I wasn't just playing a guy anymore. I was the guy. And honestly, in my eyes, I was handsome. Now, if you wanted to prove you were hot stuff in Habbo, in my mind, you went to the fashion competition rooms. Those places were my playground. There were usually 5 players competing, and every time you won a round, your chair scoots 1 tile forward. The goal was to reach the other end of the room to win. After winning, you got the host permissions and could sit in the winners area, aka the cool kids area. Most of the people sitting there were premium users, since they had more clothing options and color options, so it was pretty easy to win if you had premium. One day I was dancing on a rail, you could do that in Habbo, while waiting to be the next host of a round. But then my peaceful moment was broken when another player jumped onto the same rail, turned towards me and started to dance too. Of course, I turned to face them and I danced back. I wasn't a mean person, I was a gentleman now. Then, ding! I got a notification on my Habbo console, a friend request from the same person who was dancing with me. And being like 8 to 9 years old with no concept of internet safety, I slammed that accept button without second thought, and shortly after a private message came through. Wanna be my boyfriend. Is this really happening? Am I getting a girlfriend at the age of 8 or 9? This is like dream come true. I didn't even know I wanted a girlfriend. Yeah, I can be your boyfriend. And just like that, I got my first ever girlfriend, who I forgot about the next day. I bet we didn't even talk afterwards. Those were probably the first and last messages we ever sent to each other. But my love life didn't stop at just one girl. Oh no. We are just starting. Who could have guessed that getting into one relationship would spiral me down in a rabbit hole? Sometime later, I wandered into Habbo's official disco room, and for once it was packed. I was vibing alone in a dark corner, just minding my business, when suddenly a random girl walked to me. We spun our little avatars to face each other and started chatting. Pretty normal stuff, it was a chat game. But then she hit me with, "Wanna go grab a drink?" Obviously, yeah, sure. We moved to the soda bar, sat down, and literally the second my pixel butt hit the chair, she went, "Wanna be my boyfriend?" Girl, I just sat down. Can I get my virtual sprite first? But of course I said, "Yeah, I can be your boyfriend." Another girlfriend. I was a kitten magnet in this game. Honestly, all I did was dance around and suddenly I'm the most wanted guy. Now, you might say, "But wait, aren't you cheating on your first girlfriend?" And you'd be right. But here's the thing, I forgot her name after like 5 minutes, so yes, I was cheating on her with another girl, whose name I also forgot in the same day. But that didn't stop me. Oh no, I had a third girlfriend from the pool area. What was I doing? Swimming alone in a corner, minding my own business, until some random girl just swam up to me and asked me to be her boyfriend. Man, you could think that I'm the only guy in this game, but no, there's a lot of guys around me, but I am the most wanted. But to my third girlfriend, I was the most loyal. Well, until I forgot her name too, but still, I loved her. I showed my love to her while standing in line for another minigame again. While waiting, a gorgeous woman and her friend stood behind me. I already played like a few games with them, so I kinda knew them. Suddenly, the girl behind me called my name out loud in the public chat. I turned around and we locked eyes in the most dramatic way possible. She typed, "Oni, will you be my boyfriend?" My avatar blinks. Her avatar blinks. In my head, I'm like, "Is this really happening? Another girl? Really?" And I respond, "I have a girlfriend." The room went dead quiet. People turned around and stared. The two women left the room quickly after, never saw them again, and the minigames continued like nothing had happened. But you know what? I was the loyal boyfriend to my third girlfriend. Yeah, that didn't last. Because guess what? I got 2 more girlfriends the same week. Yep, I'm a man with 5 girlfriends. I could probably start a TV show with all these women. Now, I don't remember my 4th girlfriend at all. But the 5th one, oh boy, she was different. She actually interacted with me outside the room we first met. I mean, months have passed since we started dating, and we hadn't really spoken much after that. But one day she sent me a message, and me being me, I had no idea who she was. I was like, "Who is this again?" She reminded me pretty quickly we've been dating for months. And I'm there like, "Oh, yeah, right. We're a thing." But she wanted to spend time with me. So she invites me to her private room. Cool, I'm down. We can play and chat, I guess. This was the first time any of my friends actually invited me to their rooms and wanted to play with me, so yeah, I was down. I remember the room being one of the biggest room selections there was in the game, and it was dead empty. Just some random stuff scattered around the room, but in the middle of the room, a white twin bed. She hopped on the bed and invited me to lie down too. I did what she wanted. I walked through the huge room and lay down next to her. After I got on the bed, she started to type, and what she said was, "Ah." I had zero idea what she was doing. Why were we laying on the bed? And why was she saying, ah, out of anything? That didn't make any sense. But I did answer her. I typed ah too on the chat, and we did that a few times until a random guy joined the room. He walked across the big ass room next to my girlfriend and started to shout at her in the chat. She started to shout too, and I, being there on the bed, chose to say chat 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 chat. In the middle of all of this, I was pretending to sleep. I had no idea why these two were fighting and typing in all caps on their chat, but I was not planning on taking part on it. But this man was not letting go. He walked next to me on the bed and started to shout at me how I was stealing his girl and how he was going to beat me up. The chat was heavily censored, so I don't know what he was saying half of the time. But then I was kicked out of the room. I was mostly confused about what just happened. I was a kid after all. Anyway, my interest in Habbo died shortly after that. There were updates I didn't like. I was growing up and started getting into other things. Also, I lost the email tied to my Habbo account, so that might have had something to do with it. Rest in peace, my handsome man avatar. And I'm sorry to all my 5 girlfriends whose names I didn't bother to remember. Thank you all for watching my video, and happy anniversary to all my ladies. Some of us has been together for almost 20 years now. That's more than half of my age. I know I'm really late on those anniversary gifts, and I'm really sorry about that. But hey, Habbo isn't the only online game where I had women. There are more, but Habbo was definitely where I had the most of the girls. 5 girlfriends. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty solid number for an 8 to 9 years old kid. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one.